What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. This is an interesting video that I'm doing today. So I'm recording this on Friday. It's gonna be out tomorrow on Saturday, but I woke up this morning and reports came out quickly. Like, it was the first thing I saw on Twitter that this source, I don't remember what his name was, but it was some, blue check mark on Twitter who said that Damian Lillard is going to request a trade in the coming days. And then I saw another report that said that he has requested a trade and that he already has a list of teams that had, like, I forgot what the list were. It had like the Lakers and the Heat, the Knicks, and some other team. But, that was basically what was the first thing I saw on my social media this morning, right? So I'm like, oh, shit, something's happening with Damian Lillard. But then Chris Haynes comes out and says that he's doing an interview with Damian Lillard after Team USA does their practice today. And everyone, if you know Twitter and you follow the NBA and you follow this stuff a lot, you know that Chris Haynes, who does reporting for the NBA, he has a very close relationship with Damian Lillard. I don't know how this relationship is. I don't know why it is, but it's just how it is. Chris Haynes is the guy to go to when you want to get information reliable that has to do with Damian Lillard. So, of course, a lot of people just didn't believe this stuff. Even Yusuf Nurkic was tweeting out cap a lot, so that happened. But everyone was thinking, okay, given how crazy things have been with the Trailblazers since the season ended, they fire Terry Stotts, they go through the whole coaching process, and Damian Lillard reportedly vouches for Jason Kidd. They've hired Chauncey Billups, who has very disturbing allegations against him. They say that they did a proper investigation and background check, but now it comes out that they barely did any background check because they didn't go through any of the reliable sources. So now people are mad at Damian, they're mad at the organization, and it's just a mess, right? And apparently that mess has led to Damian Lillard having some second thoughts about being with Portland long term, right? So everyone knew that, okay, something's happening. But then when this stuff comes out, it's like, oh, okay, maybe this is finally happening. And then everyone was waiting to see what Damian Lillard would say in the press conference. And the first thing he says is that I see the reports that I'm requesting a trade soon. It's not true. So then everyone's like, okay, yeah, no one's going to say, a player's not going to say outright that, hey, yeah, I am requesting a trade and I want to leave my team. No player's going to do that. That's terrible for the person. It's like the most stupid PR you can do, because it's just not a good look for you, right? Even if you mean it, it's not a good look. So of course Damian Lillard's not going to go in, on camera in a press conference to say, yeah, I want to leave the Portland Trailblazers and I want to be traded. He's not going to do that, right? So he did the politically correct thing, but that wasn't even the interesting part, to be honest, because there were other questions that came up, and it does, to me, what it sounds like is he's not going to leave anytime soon, but I would not rule it out in the near future. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think he's going to leave this year. But if things don't go well this year, I wouldn't rule out him leaving after next year. Because here's what he said, right? He basically was talking about how, a coaching change didn't really change much because the team itself in its current state is not good enough to win a championship, which is what he wants. Obviously, they've constantly been a first round, second round exit team for however long, right? They've been stuck in this like no man's land where you're good enough to be in the playoffs, but you're not good enough to win a championship. And when you have Damian Lillard on your team, who is one of the best in this game, he's going to want more, right? And eventually it gets to the player, right? Because he's one of those guys who's so loyal to the organization. It's clear he wants to be in Portland forever, but things change, situations change, you can't really predict the future. And this quote actually stuck out to me when it came to like the Chauncey Billups hire and then like the state of the team. This one, it went over Twitter, and it was interesting to me because he said, quote, I don't disagree that maybe Chauncey can change our team and make us better, but I think if you look at our team as it is, I don't see how you say this is a championship team. We just need a new coach. Yeah, that's not good words for the organization, right? Because if the relationship was so great with Portland and the higher ups in that front office and stuff, he wouldn't say this. So this is the start, in my view, of the of the eventual departure of Damian Lillard. You know, if you had asked me after the season, immediately after the Blazers, you know, left and like lost in the playoffs or whatever, I was not going to tell you that Damian Lillard was going to leave. I was going to say that there's going to be rumors and stuff, but he just seemed like a guy who just did not want to leave. You know, regardless of the situation, he just seemed too loyal to the city. You know, he talked trash to Paul George last year in the bubble about running from the grind, right? And everyone told him this year, hey Dame, you know, you gotta run from the grind too. Shoot, you are stuck in this no man's land. You deserve a ring. Go somewhere else and, you know, compete for one actually. But, you know, I don't think that this means he's leaving, but I wouldn't rule it out, especially because you can't predict how fast these things move, because this actually kind of reminds me of the James Harden situation, like a little bit, because, you know, there was not really any hintings about James Harden wanting to leave. It just like abruptly came that, hey, yeah, he wants out and he wants to go to specific teams, not Portland, Brooklyn and Philly, right? It came out of nowhere, because at first, you know, we saw quotes that said that James Harden was committed to the Rockets and that he had no intentions of leaving for the season, right? So obviously everyone thought that, okay, yeah, he's saying himself, he's locked in, he's ready to go for Houston, and we're not going to see anything happen. But then, you know, things change. You can't predict how these things go. And then he eventually, you know, the team ended up in a tough spot where they had no choice but to trade him, right? Because if Damian Lillard requests a trade, that's it. You know, the organization is not going to be able to just hold on to him. So it kind of reminds me of the James Harden situation, because you can't predict how fast it's going to move. Right now, it sounds like he doesn't intend to leave. He doesn't want to leave. But, you know, he's still not happy with the team, which is the smart thing to do if you're a superstar of his caliber, because obviously you don't want to just always resort to, hey, I want to leave the team, right? You want to put some pressure on the team without it being looked as you shitting on the team, right? You want to hold the guys accountable on the front office without trashing them, which you can do, right? Damian Lillard, I mean, he did it today, because he basically said, you know, the rumors are not true. I'm not requesting a trade, but we are not good enough to win a championship, and that's what I want. You know, they thought that changing the coach would be enough to win a championship. No, we needed a lot of changes. So to me, this doesn't even mean that Damian Lillard might get traded. Although, like I said, I wouldn't rule it out. It very well could happen, you know. But the way I see this going out is Lillard's not going anywhere, but they're going to try to do some, like, significant roster changes in the Blazers. That's the only way I see this, you know, this situation with Damian Lillard becoming a little bit better with Portland, because maybe if they change the roster completely and they do something that actually can help him win, then that might be enough for him to stay. But if he wants to leave, which, like I keep saying it, you can't rule it out, then that's it. And where should he go? I mean, I could have touched on it more, but, you know, everyone's going to talk about a lot of the big market teams, which I get. You know, there's something, you know, the Lakers are going to be talked about a lot, but honestly, I just don't know what the Lakers can give Portland that's going to be anything, because, look, here's the thing. You know, Damian Lillard is, like, right at the beginning of his Supermax deal, right? It's a lot of money. Like, 4 years left on his deal. You know, do you realize how much a team is going to have to give up to get him? The Lakers don't have enough. You know, Lakers fans want to talk about it, which is interesting, because they're the same people who complained about Brooklyn with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and now they've all year been talking about how they want to get Damian Lillard on a team with LeBron and AD. Interesting, but nonetheless, I don't think the Lakers are going to have enough to give Portland that would be enough for a trade. The only teams I could see that have a shot are the Knicks, because, you know, the Knicks don't have assets in terms of their players, but they have a lot of picks. They have a lot of space in their cap, so they can definitely offer Portland something that would be worth taking. But also them, I could see also the Sixers, you know, because especially now that it just came out that the Sixers are looking at potential Ben Simmons trades. Maybe a swap with Ben Simmons and Damian Lillard happens out. Another team I would think about is the Miami Heat. I don't know what their asset situation is, but I know they do have some cap. So you know, maybe Pat Riley decides to do something with Damian Lillard and gets him in South Beach. I wouldn't rule that out either, but, you know, this is going to be something that everyone's going to be paying attention to now. It's super interesting. Damian Lillard potentially being on the move. You know, even if he doesn't leave, even if he doesn't get traded, this is still going to be something that we're going to pay attention to this season, because if things, you know, don't go well with Portland, right? If they just continue to be stuck in this purgatory that they are right now, then yeah, I think he is going to leave. But it's going to be a matter of time to me. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. It's weird. It's so weird, but I'm still interested in this stuff, you know. You can't predict it. Who knows? In a couple months, maybe he just demands a trade. I wouldn't rule it out, but yeah, this stuff's interesting. We'll see what happens. Thank you guys, as always, for watching this video. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you think about this Damian Lillard situation. Do you think he should stay? Do you think he should request a trade? And if he does, where do you think would be the best fit for him? I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that, so let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and also turn on your notifications so that you don't miss an upload. And yeah, thank you guys as always for your continued support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.